Hello everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and this week I'm talking about the learning space. Now this could include lots of things such as the school, the relationship between teachers and students, even an individual's headspace, but I'm actually talking about the geographic space within your home, a location within your home that you can set up as a learning space, a dedicated space for homework, for studies, for learning. And this is very important for everyone. It's good for anyone to have. It's particularly important if you or your child struggles from a learning challenge. The more structure you can have, the better. And having a location, a learning space that you know you're going to for that particular purpose can be very, very helpful. So keep it in mind. Now, I hear some people saying, well, what do you think? I live in a mansion. I don't have a whole room I can set aside to set up as an office. Well, if you do, that's great. But if you don't, that's fine. A corner of a room will do. A corner of a bedroom, a corner of the dining room perhaps, a small space in the basement. You might have to be creative, but try to find a location that you can sort of set up as a dedicated space for learning. And if possible, you want that to be a quiet space, or a relatively quiet space at least. And that, I know, can also be a challenge, especially if there are other siblings. It's one of the reasons why sometimes doing homework at a kitchen table might not be the best idea. It isn't the worst, but it's not always the best, because there's often a lot of things going on around them that can be very disturbing, particularly if you live in an open concept house where everything is in this big space. There are so many things happening that a student with any kind of attention challenge is going to have a problem focusing on homework. There's other reasons too. If that is the only space, then there are still some tips that I'm going to be talking about that will help in that regard. And one good thing about that space, and something you should make available in the space you're creating, is a comfortable but firm chair and a good working top, a table, a desk, something solid, something that a student can write on. Or even if you're using a computer, you want your computer set up on a table or a desk, something solid, something with a flat surface, so that it's ergonomically friendly, let's say, and that you're sitting up to learn. Because lying down on a bed, it's not good for writing for sure, but sitting up, being attentive, helps your learning rather than lounging, made a new word there, or upside down on the bed. So having a good surface is very important. I'm tapping my desk, but you can't actually see it here. It's in front of me. My computer's on a desk, of course. That's very important. The other thing that's very good to have is all your supplies in one place, and that's why having this dedicated space can be helpful. You have your pencils, your pens, your stapler, your calculator, papers, books, everything that you can have in that one area. That way you're not spending a lot of time running around trying to find something that you need at the last minute, or a student, and some of you, if your parents might have noticed, can occasionally be very creative in the ways that they can waste time. And sometimes they do it on purpose. Sometimes they don't really realize they're doing it, but they're kind of doing it anyway. So having everything there avoids that issue. And again, the student himself or herself begins to realize, okay, this is it. This is the space. And if you structure a time that you're going to be in that space, that's even better. And that can help, again, with the noise issue that I talked about earlier. If everyone in the family knows that this hour or this set of time is for someone or a number to do their homework, then they can arrange to do other activities in another room, in another place, or at another time. You might even have to remove a sibling from the room if it's a corner of a bedroom or somewhere where too many people are around. Another issue with the noise, you can turn on a fan. Sometimes a fan, it will give you that nice steady noise, and that will block out noise from the street or maybe some other activities happening in the home. Turn off the television, turn off the internet unless it's being used for homework, but then it's only supposed to be used for homework. Turn off cell phones. Turn off any extraneous noise that is not needed, and then turn on that fan, and that can help sometimes as well. So there's just a few ideas. You don't have to have a really fantastic room, a whole room. You could just do it in a corner. Also, try to have good lighting. You don't want it to be too dim because then you'll start to fall asleep. But for some people, having too much light can be an issue as well, with eye strain, or even being able to see sometimes the letters on a page. If the light is too bright, it can create too much of a problem for some people, myself included. I need a good light, but not too bright. So there are a few ideas to help you get started, and if you do this, you'll probably find that your child is more likely to understand, this is the space, this is the time, now I'm sitting down, now I'm going to be doing my homework. It might not make it easy at first, but over time, usually it becomes a space that they maybe don't look forward to, but they understand that this is the area that they're going to be learning, and that helps in your mind to know that that's what's happening at this time. It becomes very structured, and I've seen it happen. I haven't seen it happen as often as I've heard of it happening, because I talk to students and parents all the time, and I've had cases where the parents have come back and said they've set up something at home, and it's really helping out a lot. So check out my blog, because I'm talking about a specific case that I had a number of years ago now. I've changed the name of the child, of course, but the incident is true, and what those parents did to make it work, and they had some issues around that as well. And as I say, it doesn't always work perfectly, but the more you can do, the more you can do, so to speak. So give it a try. Look at the blog. I'll put a link below. Check out the website as well. Don't forget to like the video if you do, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and start setting up your space at home. Make it a quiet space, make it a nice space without too many distractions. So a nice color, maybe a couple of plants. Just make it a nice, comfortable learning space. But by comfort, I don't mean a sleeping area. So good luck setting that up. Let me know how it goes. You can always send me an email from the website. You can always put a comment if you're watching this on YouTube below. And in the meantime, have a great week and a great learning experience. It's Ron from L.T.L. Tutoring Central. Bye for now.